Sometimes all you hear from YouTubers in China is great, as if there's no problems at all. Yeah. Here's one annoying thing that you may experience if you live in China. And I'd love to play the piano, but if I did, would I do it in a studio, or would I do it in my home, or in the garden, or in my apartment here in China? Who knows? I probably wouldn't want to disturb the neighbours, especially when I'm practicing. And today the subject is about tolerance. On a personal experience of life and travelling around the world, I think the Chinese as a race are quite possibly the most tolerant people on the planet. The reason I say this is because in general they don't lose their temper. They don't have as much aggression when something goes wrong because of a human error or because of someone's incompetence or lack of consideration. But I have a neighbour. When I say a neighbour, I mean several floors up. Now, I have no intentions of embarrassing or letting this person lose face. I know that's a bad thing to do in China. Ultimately, this individual is doing what they want to do 7 days a week, all day Sunday, evenings up until 9:30. There you go. If this person was to have an accident and lose their fingers on both hands, it would mean that there is a God. Hi, so I'm just several feet away from the pianist. They live here. Several months later, that particular video I uploaded onto my WeChat. Hi, big welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about a very different subject. So there we have it. That video was made several months ago actually, and the comments that I received from people on WeChat, not YouTube, on WeChat, some of them were quite repulsive. If you don't like it, walk off back to your own country. And some were sort of like, well, I like the piano and you're lucky to be able to listen to that. And some were quite sympathetic and understanding and say, well, complain to the police, complain to management, do something. I complained to my landlord. Landlord complained to the management here in this complex. They went and knocked on the door and asked the person to consider the neighbours. The gentleman's wife did. She went to hospital and complained. Sleepless nights, had some kind of trauma, anxiety, stress, whatever, so she went to the hospital and said anyone else who knocks on the door complaining about her husband's piano playing, they will have to pay the bill for her hospital treatment. Unbelievable. Quite unbelievable. Anyway, the complaints did continue from me and onto my landlord, because obviously if I'm staying there, I'm not going to pay the rent if I'm disturbed that much. And it was bad. It was really, really bad. As a consequence, they got a few more knocks on the doors. The police did also knock on the door, and eventually it has stopped. It's peace and quiet. They still practice the piano at weekends. It's not all hunky-dory. Sometimes you get issues that you can't deal with yourself and you need someone's help. But it's not a violent country in the sense that I go up there with a big stick and a dog, turn that music down or stop that effing piano player. That's not going to solve anything, and I will just get kicked out and never come back to China again. There we go. So it all got sorted in the end, and if you come to China, you may not experience it. You may experience a few e-bikes that annoy you because they go so far, or you may just have a wonderful, wonderful time and then decide to come back a year or two later, because it is a good country. It's a fantastic country, but there are some issues. And like I say, every YouTuber who lives in China experiences some problems, but most don't mention them. There you go, that's my take. But although, in fact, even though I say that, these problems are really quite small, really very, very small in comparison to the problems that I may get back in the UK. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.